Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. So today we'll be talking about tax-free savings account, that is TFSA. Why is it important? How to set it up? What is the contribution limit? And what are the do's and don'ts that you need to take care into picture before doing anything? Because I have been doing TFSA from past 3 years and I have made some errors and also learned a lot of that as well. So let's just dive into it and let's get started. The first and the foremost mistake a lot of people do is that they use the TFSA as a savings account. No, it can be used as a savings account, but it is not. So definitely don't use it as a savings account, because TFSA, the major part of that is for growing your money. The money that you grow on it, the gains that you get is completely tax free. So why do you just want to keep it as a savings account and not use it for growing your money? You can have your savings account in a Scotiabank, CIBC or TD. You can make a GIC out of it. But if you're using the TFSA, please use it as an growing purpose. I'm not saying that you need to buy stocks or only something related to it, but you can buy stocks with it, you can buy GICs, you can buy anything that grows over time, because this is something that you keep for a longer period of time, and after 5-6 years down the line you see that effect coming into the picture. The second common mistake that a lot of people do, including me, was in my first year, I went completely in with all the $7,000 contribution limit that I had. I went all in and I had a lot of losses as well, but I also gained. I did a calculative risk and I was profitable in some, but I was not profitable in a lot of them as well. So do always do a calculative risk, or have a recurring payment of 500 or 100 or even 2100, whatever amount that suits you, as a monthly payment towards your ETF if you're not that used to it. So always stick with an ETF, which is way more secure. So that is something. Do not go bazooka with it and have your money get stuck into it and lose all of them. But it is a risky environment and you don't want to lose it. And moreover, when you're going with all in, there is a contribution limit. A lot of people do not know what the contribution limit is and they go it over, and then you have an tax bracket, and then you have penalties that you would have to pay for the taxes. So these are the things that you need to stop doing it and try to avoid it. The third issue that normally comes into the picture is a lot of people buy ETFs or stocks from US markets. Definitely, it is one of the best way of buying US stocks. US trades, they have some, it's difficult, it's easy to open, but they do have some commissions. But Wealthsimple is completely free, and then you can use it using US stock market or any foreign market that you want to trade in. But the only catch is you would be paying 15% withholding taxes if you are getting any dividends. So if you have a US stock market, US stock, which is VOO, for example, which is an ETF from Vanguard, and they do pay out dividends, and if you get the dividends on that, the withholding tax is 15%. If it's a Canadian dividend, you do not pay anything, but if it's a US dividend, then that's when you pay 15% withholding taxes. It's completely fine to do it. Just see to it that you are aware of it and use your money accordingly. As we have spoken about the don'ts, let's start speaking about the do's. So what you need to do, the first thing that you need to be very careful is tracking your systems. I check it if I'm doing an investment, because at the end of the year in CRA you cannot see how much room is left. You can see only after you file your taxes. So you can only see that if you keep on tracking it. So once you go on tracking it, you can know, okay, I have a $40,000 limit, and you can only do that one. As we've already spoken about the don'ts, let's start what you want to do with it. So first thing is track your statements. So track every investment that you do. If it's a TFSA, then please do track it, because the major issue a lot of people face, as I was mentioning previously, is that you would be paying 1% penalty for any extra contribution that you do. If you have a $7,000 contribution limit and you do an $8,000, you pay 1% and overcharge a penalty for the $1,000 that you have. So be very careful whenever you're doing any investment. See to it that you do not have any overpayments or over contribution limit. So be very careful. Okay to do a withdrawal. I know a lot of people say if you put in the money there, if you withdraw, there is no withdrawal tax like an RRSP. So it is okay if you are withdrawing with it. So but then also see that only if it's necessary. I know a life takes a lot of turns. Sometimes you might lose a job, or some emergency fund has to be brought in. You can use that and withdraw it. But only thing that you need to be very careful is when you withdraw the money, the contribution limit only resets the end of the year. So for this year, in 2025, if it's $7,000, you have invested $6,000, and then you have a room of $1,000. end of the year, but then you had withdrawn $3,000, that doesn't mean that you have a limit of $4,000 in 2025. You'll be having a limit of $1,000 in 2025, but in 2026 you'll be having the whatever contribution limit every year they recommend, plus you get this $4,000 that you withdraw with it. So that is how the contribution limit works. And also the do's that I was telling you previously was the don'ts of dividends. So if you are more keen about having dividends and you invest in a lot of dividend stock, then do it in RRSP, because there is no withhold taxes in RRSP, even if you have any US stocks, Canadian stocks, or any stock market, any foreign markets that you own. So if you are planning to have dividend stocks as your portfolio, then always have it in your RRSP rather than your TFSA. And now we'll be talking about contribution limit. So what is a contribution limit? So every year there has been a time where there is a contribution limit specifically for that year. But the best part about this is it always accumulates. It's not that for this year, if it's 7,500, it will get elapsed in the next year. No. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and as you can see the video right now,
we were finding out what is the contribution limit. So you just go to Google and just type TFSA contribution limit calculator, and you would be getting multiple options. My favorite one that I always love is the recon.ca, which gives me quite an in-depth view of what is my contribution limit. So on first, it's going to ask you when did you reside in Canada. So if it is before 2010, then just say yes. If not, then you can just say no. I was not, because I came in Canada in 2021. That's why I'll be putting 2021 there, because it will ask you when did you become a resident. And now you just add 1996, which you were born, and your contribution limit so far. As you have, if you are new, then it will be 0, and then if you have not done any contribution, then of course there won't be any withdrawal. So you can just say no. And with that, you're gonna find that your contribution limit is 32,500. So it depends upon when you came to Canada, when you landed here. If you are born here, then it depends upon when you were born. So as you can see, these are all the contribution limit section. Every year it changes. So if you are not coming 2021, then you can just put 2019 if you have landed in Canada, and your contribution limit increases to 44,500. If you are new 2023, then it goes down to 2,500. So that is the easiest way of finding your contribution limit. I'm gonna leave the link in the description below.
So as you saw, this is how you would find out what is your contribution limit in TFSA. I'll be leaving the link in the description below where you'll be able to find it. And after that, if you have never done any contribution before, it is very more easier. If you have done it, you might have to spend some time in your Wealthsimple or any other trading platform which you have invested, and you'll be able to do that how. So that will be my basic overall of TFSA, and feel free to hit me a text or a comment so that I can help you more and understand these topics. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. Do like, subscribe, and please share this video. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye bye.